Today, we are going somewhere that I think for most of us, even the most seasoned travelers, it triggers a very specific, almost visceral physiological reaction. You know exactly the feeling I'm talking about.
Hello.
It usually starts the night before or maybe on the taxi ride over.
Right.
It's that slight elevation in your heart rate, the obsessive checking of your pockets to make sure your passport hasn't just, magically evaporated.
Or that you haven't forgotten the one document you absolutely need.
Yes. And this nagging, completely irrational sensation that you have somehow inadvertently committed a crime you don't even remember committing.
It sounds like we're discussing a police interrogation.
It does, doesn't it?
Or maybe the prelude to a high-stakes criminal trial.
Close. We are talking about the airport.
Ah, of course.
But we aren't just talking about the airport as, a piece of infrastructure or just a place where planes take off and land.
No, it's more than that.
We are looking at the airport as a specific kind of ecosystem, a linguistic ecosystem, if you will.
That's a great way to put it.
It's this high-pressure environment mixed with rapid-fire instructions, very specific jargon, and, of course, legal consequences.
It really is a distinct world. I mean, sociologists often refer to airports as liminal spaces.
Liminal.
Yeah, there are thresholds. They exist between nations, between here and there. And because of that unique status, the language used inside an airport is... well, it's unique.
How so?
It sits outside of normal social rules.
Yeah.
It's designed for safety, efficiency, and authority in that specific order.
And what comes after that?
Comfort, friendliness, politeness. That usually comes in a distant fourth or fifth.
Exactly. And that's the premise we're exploring today. That is why even people who are incredibly fluent in English or whatever language is being spoken in that country often just crumble the moment they step through those sliding glass doors.
They do. They really do.
It's the pressure. It's the noise. It's the fact that if you misunderstand a word like prohibited or visa, the consequences aren't just social awkwardness, like, ordering the wrong dish at a restaurant.
Right. The stakes are so much higher.
The consequences are legal. You could miss a flight, you could get fined, or you would even get detained.
It creates what psychologists might call a fear factor.
A fear factor, I like that.
You have the stress of security, the absolute rush of making connections, the sheer volume of sensory input. It all just creates this massive cognitive load.
Right, your brain is just overloaded.
Totally. And when your brain is that stressed, processing language becomes significantly harder than it would be in a classroom or a coffee shop. You regress.
You regress. That's a good word for it. So to help us navigate this, we are diving into a really fantastic guide today. It's called Mastering the Skies, a guide to advanced airport English.
It's from the Advanced Learner Studio, and it's fascinating.
It really is because it features two primary voices with very different approaches.
Right. You have Emma and John.
You have Emma, who is this very precise instructor focusing on C2 level mastery. So we're talking the highest level of fluency.
And then you have John.
And then you have John, who brings these practical, often humorous, and slightly traumatic real-world anecdotes that really ground the theory in reality.
What I love about this source material is that they aren't just giving us a vocabulary list.
No, it's not that at all.
They aren't just saying, here is the word for suitcase.
Right.
They are deconstructing the entire passenger journey. They break down the psychology behind why airport staff speak the way they do.
And, more importantly,
and how you, as a traveler, can strategically use language to make your life easier.
It's almost like a guide to social engineering your way through the terminal just by using the right words.
It is.
So that is our mission for this deep dive. We are going to deconstruct the entire journey from the moment you walk into the terminal to the moment you drag your bags out of the arrivals hall at your destination.
We're looking at the hidden rules, the power phrases,
the specific jargon that controls this entire ecosystem.
Ready for takeoff?
I knew you were going to say that. But yes, let's do it. Let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
Part 1, the threshold. We are at check-in and documentation. Now, the source material makes a really interesting observation right off the bat about the shift from digital to analog here.
Right. This landscape has changed so much in the last, 10 years?
Oh, completely.
It used to be that check-in was the primary interaction point. You had to talk to someone.
You had to stand in that line, hand over your paper ticket.
Smile, yeah. Now it's mostly digital. You have the app on your phone. You have the self-service kiosk.
You can literally go from your front door to the security line without speaking a single word to a human being.
Which means, and this is the point the source makes.
Yes.
If you were actually talking to a human being at a counter today, It usually signals complexity.
It means something isn't standard.
Exactly. If you are standing at that counter, it's usually because you have bags to drop, which involves illegal transfer of property, or worse.
Oh, the worse.
There's a visa issue, a booking error, or a passport problem. So the language shifts immediately from casual to procedural.
So that person isn't a customer service representative anymore.
No. In that moment, they are a gatekeeper.
A gatekeeper. Let's talk about that procedure then. The first thing you notice is the shift in nouns. You don't hand over your papers.
No. You hand over documentation.
Why that specific word? Why documentation?
Well, documentation implies legal standing. A paper is, a receipt? A gum wrapper.
It's flimsy.
It's flimsy. Documentation is your passport, your visa, your proof of onward travel. It elevates the physical object to a matter of state record.
It signals that we are now dealing with identity and permission.
Exactly. And then there's the other big word, itinerary.
Right. May I see your itinerary? Or do you have a copy of your itinerary?
It sounds so much more serious.
It does. Much more serious than what are your plans or so where are you going? Well, it is more serious. An itinerary is a fixed plan. The word comes from the Latin for a journey, but in the modern airport context, it's a contract of movement.
A contract of movement.
It proves you have a plan to leave. Immigration and airline staff are, frankly, obsessed with the idea that you might stay forever.
Right.
The itinerary is your proof that you are transient. And this is where the interrogation begins. And I use that word advisedly.
It really does feel like an interrogation.
Yeah.
Even when they're just asking about your luggage.
Oh, especially then. When the agent asks about your luggage, they aren't making small talk about your packing skills.
They are not interested in your wardrobe choices.
No, not at all.
This is the part that always stresses me out, even though I know the answers and I know I haven't done anything wrong. The standard security questions. Did you pack these bags yourself?
And has your luggage been in your possession at all times?
Yes.
These are legal declarations. That's the key.
So it's not a conversation.
Yeah. No. In the ecosystem of the airport, your answer here is a binding statement. If you say yes, and they find something illegal in there, you have a legally claimed ownership of it.
You can't turn around later and say, oh, my cousin gave me this package to carry. I didn't know what was in it.
Which, by the way, the source is very, very clear on this.
Never do that.
Never do that. Never carry a package for someone else.
Ever.
Because you become legally liable for the contents. But notice the phrasing the agents use. In your possession.
Right, not, did you have your bag with you?
Exactly. Possession is a legal concept of control. They are establishing a chain of custody.
So if you left your bag unattended while you went to the bathroom?
Technically, the answer is no.
That's terrifying. Now, let's talk about the specific anxiety of the weight limit. This is a universal experience.
Oh, yes.
You lift your bag onto the scale, you watch the numbers tick up, and you just hold your breath.
And the source material highlights this so vividly. The phrase you dread hearing is excess baggage fee. It's such a sterile, bureaucratic way of saying you have failed to follow the rules and now you must pay a penalty.
And the alternative is even worse.
It really is.
The source describes that frantic, humiliating experience of opening your suitcase on the dirty floor.
In front of a huge line of impatient people.
Yes. And you're trying to move 3 pairs of jeans into your backpack just to save 2 kilograms.
It's a total loss of dignity, and that's part of the airport dynamic. You are constantly being stripped of your autonomy.
You are subject to the scales, quite literally.
Exactly. And the source uses this to explain why people get so aggressive at airports. It's a defense mechanism against this loss of control.
You feel helpless, so you get angry.
Precisely.
Then there's a prohibited items list.
Yeah.
The agent just rattles them off like an auctioneer.
Lithium batteries, flammable liquids, sharp objects, power banks.
It's almost a chant.
It is, but notice the specificity. They don't just say battery.
They say lithium batteries.
And they don't say lighters, they say flammable liquids. They are using these broad category terms to cover everything.
Right.
If you say no, you are verifying that the plane is safe from your specific luggage. This is all about liability.
Liability for the airline.
Yes. If that bag catches fire mid-air, your no at the counter is what clears the airline of negligence. It puts the blame squarely on you.
So let's say you survive the weighing. You confirm you aren't carrying a samurai sword or a bucket of gasoline. They hand you the boarding pass. And the source points out a specific word of the day here. Commences.
Yes. Boarding commences at 14:00.
Why not just say starts? Boarding starts at 2. Why the fancy word?
Because starts is casual. A movie starts. A party starts.
Right.
Commences signals a formal procedure initiated by an authority figure. It implies a process that will happen whether you are ready or not.
It distances the agent from the action.
It does. It's not, I will let you on the plane. It's the boarding process commences. It commands respect. It sounds inevitable.
Like a military operation.
Something like that.
It really sets the tone for what's coming next, because if check-in is the threshold.
Then the next part is the gauntlet.
Exactly. Part 2, the security checkpoint.
This is, without a doubt, the most stressful phase of the entire journey.
I agree.
The source material calls this the point where listening comprehension becomes absolutely critical, but also where it's most difficult because of the environment.
It's so loud. There are plastic trays clattering everywhere.
People are shouting, laptop out, shoes off!
It's industrial. It's not a human space.
And this is where we see a very specific vocabulary of removal. The source mentions the word divesting.
Divesting. That sounds like something a CEO does with a failing asset. I am divesting my stocks.
Right.
But here, it just means taking off your belt.
It's a precise, formal term for removing things from your person. Divest all metal items.
Empty your pockets completely. Remove shoes, belts, jackets.
These are all imperative commands. There's no please or would you mind. It's direct action.
The goal is speed and compliance.
Exactly. And divest also implies a kind of separation. You are separating your identity and your possessions from your physical body for the scan. You're being reduced to biological matter for a moment.
Wow. And then we have the electronics and liquids rules. This is where I think most people get tripped up.
For sure.
And where that innocent criminal feeling really kicks in.
The electronics rule is usually pretty straightforward. Separate bins. They want laptops, tablets, large electronics isolated so the X-ray can see through them clearly.
But the liquids.
Oh.
The liquids. The 311 rule or the 100 milliliter rule. This is where the source provided a really crucial distinction that I think a lot of people miss.
The container nuance.
Exactly.
Precisely. John, one of the voices in the source, tells the story about losing an expensive bottle of cologne. And here's the key insight.
Yes.
It does not matter how much liquid is inside the bottle.
Right. You could have a 200 milliliter bottle that is almost totally empty. It has like a teaspoon of shampoo left in it.
And it will be confiscated. It's going in the bin.
Every time.
The rule is based on the capacity of the container. If the bottle says 150 milliliters on the bottom, it's trash. It has to be a 100 milliliter container or less.
But why is that? That seems so illogical if the bottle is basically empty.
It's about speed and verification. Think about it. The security agents do not have time to measure the volume of liquid you have left.
They don't have a little measuring cup back there.
No, they only have time to read the label on the bottom of the bottle. It's a binary check. Does the label say greater than 100? If yes, toss it.
So it's a heuristic for efficiency, not necessarily for common sense.
That's a perfect way to describe it.
That is such a painful lesson to learn the hard way. It feels so wasteful.
It is, and it feeds directly into what the source calls the innocent criminal syndrome.
Oh, I relate to this so much. I know I packed my bag. I know I am a law-abiding citizen. I have nothing to hide.
Of course.
But the moment I'm standing in that line and I see the uniformed officers and I'm shoeless holding my little clear bag of liquids, I suddenly think, did I accidentally become a smuggler? Did someone plant something on me? It's completely irrational.
It's the psychology of the panopticon. You are being watched. You are being scanned. Your body is being analyzed for heat signatures and density. It induces guilt, even in the innocent.
It's a physiological response to authority.
It is. And the source actually suggests that just recognizing this feeling, naming it, can help you stay calm. You aren't guilty. You are just being processed. Your data in a system.
And sometimes that fear is realized. You get pulled aside for secondary screening.
This is a term you need to know so you don't panic.
Right.
If they say secondary screening, it just means a closer look. It does not mean you are under arrest. They might say, I need to perform a random pat-down.
Or, we need to swab your hands for explosives.
Which is a terrifying sentence if you aren't ready for it.
Absolutely terrifying.
It is, but it's routine. They're just looking for residue from certain chemicals.
Yeah.
And the source offers some great advice here about medical advocacy.
Oh, this is important.
If you have a knee replacement that's going to set off the metal detector, or you have liquid medication that's larger than 100 milliliters.
You have to declare it.
There's that word again.
Yes. You declare it. You don't just mention it.
You say, I have a medical implant.
I am declaring this liquid medication.
By stating it before the alarm goes off, you completely change the dynamic.
You're informing them rather than them catching you.
Exactly. It keeps the power balance slightly more in your favor. It turns a potential confrontation into a simple procedure.
That's a great tip. Preempt the escalation. Okay, so we have been scanned, patted down, we've put our belts back on, usually while hopping on one foot because there's nowhere to sit.
Always.
We are now airside.
Welcome to the departure lounge. The source describes this as a language lab, which I think is a brilliant reframing.
I love that too. Instead of just sitting there scrolling on your phone.
Which is what everyone does.
You can be eavesdropping. It's passive learning.
Exactly. Listen to the PA announcements. This is a great place to practice distinguishing urgency. You need to know the difference between a general boarding call
and a final call.
Two very different things.
Final call basically means if your name is Smith, run for your life.
Pretty much. And listen to the tone. A general call is robotic, monotonous.
Right.
A final call usually has a human urgency to it. The agent's voice cracks a little.
The source also notes a really common disconnect regarding gate changes.
Oh, this is a good one.
Often, the audio announcement happens before the screen's update.
I've seen this happen so many times. You hear gate change to 52, but the big screen in front of you still says gate 12.
And everyone looks around confused.
Exactly. If you're only relying on your eyes, you might miss it. Trust the audio. The audio is usually the most current information.
But let's talk about when things go wrong. Delays and cancellations.
The bane of the traveler's existence.
You hear the phrases, late arrival of incoming aircraft.
Adverse weather conditions.
These are the standard excuses. But what happens when the flight is actually canceled? This is where the source gives us a power phrase.
And this is arguably the most valuable linguistic tool in the entire deep dive.
I think so too. I love this one. The phrase is, am I entitled to a hotel voucher? Am I entitled to compensation?
Why is this so much better than saying, I want a hotel room or I need a refund?
Because I want is a personal desire. It's emotional.
It's a complaint.
It's a complaint, and it invites a no, because the agent can easily say, well, I want a lot of things too, but I can't give them to you.
Right. It puts you in conflict.
But am I entitled to? Frames the request as a matter of policy and rights. It removes the emotion and asks the agent to consult the regulations.
It asserts your rights without being aggressive.
It forces the agent to do their job, which is to uphold the contract of carriage. It shifts the agent from being your adversary to being a bureaucratic functionary who just has to check the rules.
It's professional, it's firm, and it's very difficult to just brush off. Especially if you follow up with, say, am I entitled to this under EU Regulation 261? Then they know you know your stuff.
That is brilliant. It turns the table on the bureaucracy using their own language.
Okay.
Assuming the flight isn't canceled, we eventually get to boarding.
The chaotic shuffle. We have zones and groups, which is all just herd management.
Right.
But there is a specific negotiation that happens here. Gate checking.
The scenario is so familiar. The flight is full. The overhead bins are going to be packed.
And the agent gets on the mic and says, we have limited bin space.
Then they make an offer. We are offering complimentary gate checking to your final destination.
Keyword, complimentary.
It means free?
Yes. And the strategy here, as Emma from the source suggests, is to take it.
Really? See, I usually fight to keep my bag.
A lot of people do.
Because I'm scared they'll lose it, and I hate waiting at the carousel. I just want to get out of the airport as fast as possible.
And I understand that instinct, I really do. But Emma argues that it's a stress reduction strategy. Think about it. If you take the offer, you avoid the fight for bin space.
Oh, the real fight.
It is. You don't have to drag your carry-on down that narrow aisle, hitting people in the elbows. You don't have to panic when you get to row 35, and there's no space left.
And you have to do the swim of shame?
The swim of shame. You have to swim upstream against the flow of passengers to find a spot back in row 12.
That is a nightmare scenario.
Yeah.
Swimming upstream on a plane is impossible. Everyone hates you.
Everyone hates you. By gate checking, you just hand it over, walk on the plane with your small personal item, and sit down.
It's the path of least resistance.
It is. You are trading a little bit of time at arrival for a huge amount of comfort and sanity during boarding. It's a strategic choice.
I see the appeal. I might actually try that next time. Okay, let's say we were on the plane. Part 4. In-flight communication. We are in the tube.
The environment shifts again. Now we're dealing with spatial awareness and extreme politeness in a very confined space.
Let's talk about the word stow. You don't put your bag away.
No, you stow it.
Why stow?
It's a nautical term originally. It implies securing something tightly so it doesn't move during rough seas, or in this case, turbulence.
Stow your larger items in the overhead bin.
And the smaller items.
Under the seat in front of you.
A very specific location. If you put it under your own legs, you are blocking your own evacuation path. It has to be in front.
And then comes the pre-flight mantra. Everyone knows this, even if they don't speak a word of English.
The liturgy. The ritual.
Seatbelt fastened, tray table stowed, seat back in the upright and locked position.
Upright and locked. It emphasizes safety and uniformity. It reminds everyone that this is a machine, not your living room.
Right. But once we are in the air, we might hit some bumps. The source mentions a great piece of pilot slang
Oh,
here.
I love this one. Chop.
We are experiencing some chop.
It refers to light turbulence. It sounds so much less threatening than turbulence, doesn't it?
It really does. Chop sounds like you're just driving over a gravel road
Yeah.
or chopping vegetables.
It's a diminutive term, a linguistic sedative.
Folks, a little bit of chop. Yeah, I feel better already. It implies it's temporary and manageable.
Exactly. Pilots are masters of understatements to maintain calm. If a pilot says, "We have a slight technical issue," it could mean anything from a broken light bulb to an engine failure, but the tone is always flat and calm. They are managing the emotions of 300 people sitting behind them.
Now let's talk about service etiquette. You are squeezed into this tiny seat. The flight attendant is overworked. How do you ask for things without being that annoying passenger?
Modals are your best friend here.
Modals.
Modal verbs. Could, would, may, can I have is okay, but I want is forbidden.
I want is bad.
I want is terrible. It's too direct. In this confined, high-stress social space, you need to soften your request. I want a coffee. Sounds demanding.
It sounds like a toddler.
It does.
So could I possibly have a coffee?
Or would it be possible to get an extra blanket? It acknowledges that you are asking for a favor, even though it's their job.
It builds a tiny bridge of human connection.
It does. And the source emphasizes that if you use high politeness markers, you get better service. The flight attendants are human. They respond to respect.
Be the passenger they like, not the one they dread.
Precisely. It makes the flight better for everyone. And frankly, in a metal tube at 30,000 feet, kindness is the only social lubricant we have.
So true. Okay, the flight lands. We have touched down. Please remain seated until the aircraft has come to a complete stop.
And everyone immediately stands up.
Of course. We get off. Now we are in part 5, arrival, the final hurdle.
Borders and boundaries. And this is where people get confused about the difference between immigration and customs.
I think a lot of people use the terms interchangeably.
They do. They say, I have to clear customs when they really mean the passport check, but they are totally different things.
Okay, so what is the hard distinction?
Immigration controls the movement of people. Customs controls the movement of goods.
So immigration is the person in the booth looking at your face and your passport.
Correct. The immigration interview. This is a test of consistency. They scan the passport and ask that first question.
Purpose of visit.
And the source suggests keeping this concise.
Extremely concise.
1 or 2 words. Business. Tourism. Visiting family.
Do not tell them your life story.
No, do not say, well, I'm here to see my boyfriend, but we might break up, so I might stay at a hostel, or maybe I'll go camping.
That's too much information. It just raises red flags.
Way too much. It sounds unstable.
Yeah.
And absolutely do not make jokes.
Oh, never.
Jokes at the border are a terrible, terrible idea.
I'm here to overthrow the government. Just kidding.
Yeah.
No longer.
You would be detained. They have zero sense of humor because they are looking for intent. They are trained to spot nervousness and inconsistency.
How long do you intend to stay? Do you have a return ticket?
They want to know that you are not going to stay forever illegally. Concise, truthful answers are the strategy. Give them the data they need to tick the box and nothing more.
So you pass the person test. Now you go to baggage claim.
You find the carousel.
Another specific word. Not a conveyor belt, a carousel.
Like a carnival ride, but with suitcases.
And let's talk about the worst case scenario. The carousel stops moving, the buzzer sounds, and your bag isn't there. Everyone else is left. You're alone.
This is where you need to head to the baggage services desk. And you need the vocabulary of loss.
Lost luggage, delayed baggage.
And most importantly, the claim tag. That little sticker they stuck on your boarding pass at the very beginning.
The one you almost threw away.
This is the only moment it matters.
If you did throw that away, you are in so much trouble.
You are. That tag is the digital link to your bag. Without it, you're just a person complaining about a generic bag that might not exist. With it, you are a claimant.
It proved the airline took possession.
It turns your problem into their problem.
Okay, assuming you get your bag or you file your claim, the last door, customs.
The control of goods. Usually you have the green channel
Nothing to declare?
and the red channel.
Goods to declare.
And this isn't just about smuggling drugs or gold bars. It's about boring things that can get you in huge trouble.
Right.
Alcohol, tobacco, cash over a certain limit, usually around $10,000. But the one that catches people out, and the source makes a big point of this.
Agricultural hazards.
Yes, the Apple scenario.
Tell us about the Apple scenario.
Biosecurity. Especially in island nations like New Zealand, Australia, or even entering the US. They are terrified of foreign pests destroying their ecosystem.
So you might have an apple you took from the plane snack service.
Just a normal apple. You didn't buy it at a farm. The airline gave it to you.
And you think it's just a snack for later. It's harmless.
If you take that through the Green Channel in New Zealand, you'll be fined instantly. And it's a significant fine, hundreds of dollars.
Wow. For an apple?
For an apple. Because that apple could carry a fruit fly or a fungus that could decimate their entire orchard industry.
It seems so innocent, but the potential ecological impact is huge.
Exactly. So the lesson is, dump the food before the line. Or, if you are unsure, go to the red channel and ask.
Just ask them.
Just ask, I have this apple, is it okay? If you ask, they just take the apple and throw it away. If you hide it and they find it, you pay the fine. The red channel isn't a trap, it's a conversation starter where you are protected by your declaration.
We have made it. We are out in the arrivals hall. We see the people holding signs with names on them. We have survived the ecosystem.
We have successfully navigated the linguistic maze.
This brings us to the conclusion of our deep dive, the traveler's mindset. The source really emphasizes that we shouldn't just sleepwalk through this process.
No. The airport is a live language lab. It is a place where global English is the standard.
Right.
If you are a learner or just someone curious about communication, look around, read the signs, listen to the accents. It's a melting pot of communication styles.
I love the idea of building confidence through small interactions. The source suggests asking a staff member for directions, even if you already know where you're going.
Excuse me, could you point me in the direction of the nearest lounge?
Right. It's a low-stakes way to practice the formula.
It proves to your brain that you can function in this environment. It desensitizes you to the fear factor. It reminds you that the staff are just people doing a job, not guards in a prison.
And using context clues.
Reading the room. If the audio is muffled, which it always is, look at the herd behavior.
What's the crowd doing?
Exactly. If everyone stands up simultaneously, it's boarding. If everyone sighs and sits down, it's a delay. Body language is a universal dialect in the airport.
So what does this all mean for us? Why does this deep dive matter?
It means that the airport, for all its chaos and stress, is actually highly formulaic. It's a script.
It's predictable.
It is. And once you know the script, documentation, divest, commences, entitled declare, the fear evaporates.
You stop being a passive victim of the system.
And you become an active participant.
You stop feeling like an innocent criminal and start feeling like a traveler.
Exactly. You reclaim your autonomy, you understand the game so you can play it.
Before we go, I want to leave the listeners with a final thought to chew on. We've talked about airport English, but think about this. Is airport English actually a dialect of its own?
That's a fascinating angle. Tell me more.
Well, it exists outside of any specific country. It doesn't matter if you are in Dubai, Frankfurt, or Tokyo. The terms gate, boarding pass, customs, and security mean the exact same thing everywhere.
It's a standardized global language.
Designed purely for safety and efficiency. It's perhaps the most truly international language we have.
It's the language of that liminal space we talked about.
Right.
It belongs to nowhere and everywhere at the same time. It's a functional pigeon for the modern nomad. It connects us all in our shared transience.
So the next time you're flying, don't just put your headphones on and zone out.
Listen to the dialect.
Treat your trip like a field study.
And remember, don't bring the apple.
Yeah. Don't bring the apple. That's the golden rule. Safe travels, everyone.
Safe travels.